Hello, YouTube! Welcome in, welcome in. We are hanging out today with the infographics show. This is going to be insane laws that still exist in the US of A. This was actually done 4 years ago, so whether they actually do still exist in the USA is unknown to me. However, I would also not put it past. I have no idea what fully to expect. I do know that there's some like really insane laws, like no airdropping moose out of a helicopter on a Thursday at this time or something like that. Like, I've heard of laws that sound kind of like that. So I'm kind of curious what we're going to get. Also, I've seen this fellow do doing stuff with SCP, or at least this art style. I've seen this art style done with SCP stuff before, so that should be fun. But yeah, hello! And yeah, let's get started.
You're woken by a bang at the door. Open up! Come out with your hands up! I can't believe this is happening. Could you really be in trouble with federal officials over lunch meat? You might be surprised.
Over a lunch meat? I mean, unless it's long pork, I don't understand why you would be in trouble for having a lunch meat. Interesting.
There are a lot of laws on the books in the United States, and some are genuinely bizarre. Here are some of the craziest state and federal U.S. laws that still exist.
They might still exist, but some of them won't be upheld because they're archaic, technically, and they exist because, you know, government doesn't like updating anything, and they love to just live in things that just always existed in the past, but they won't necessarily, you know, uphold them unless they have they really, really want to throw the book at you for one reason or another, and they can't get you on anything else. However, still don't do the things if they're illegal. Illegal is illegal, even if it's stupid.
One thing that all states have in common is laws against drunk driving. It's illegal in all 50 states to operate a motor vehicle with a blood alcohol level above a certain level.
Yeah.
Some states expand that.
Which also, if you drive drunk, stub your toe, your pinky toe. Stub your pinky toe if you ever try driving drunk. Okay? Repeatedly. Just don't stop. Just keep stubbing it. I have no sympathy for you. You are putting so many people's lives at risk for no fucking reason whatsoever. And it's primarily because you're stubborn and you're like, but I'm a good driver when I'm drunk. That doesn't fly with me. That doesn't fly with anyone. Stop it. No.
To other vehicles like bikes, scooters, and even tractors. But Wyoming adds a unique vehicle to that. Skis.
Honestly, that just makes sense. That's not a weird law. That just makes sense. It's a sports activity. If you're drunk and you're skiing, like, first of all, look at the thing in his hand. Those things are stabby. They're very pointy. If you're drunk and inebriated, that's technically a weapon. If you're going down a hill at like freaking 50, 80, 60 kilometers or miles or whatever the hell speed you're going down on certain hills, and you hit a tree, congratulations, you were too drunk to see that tree. You thought it was maybe a bush or a pretty lady. Unfortunately, it was a pine tree, and now you got a pine cone up your ass.
Skiing under the influence could get you charged with a misdemeanor and facing up to 20 days in jail. It makes sense a drunk skier could cause a dangerous crash that could hurt themselves or others, but how often does this happen exactly?
More than probably drunk driving, if I'd be perfectly honest.
Some laws are common sense, maybe a little too common sense. Have you ever told a friend, I know this route so well I could find it blindfolded? Well, you're apparently not the only one, because in Alabama, someone might have taken that challenge a little too literally. The southern state has a law on the books prohibiting driving while your vision is obscured with a blindfold.
Okay, I think I fully understand why these are on here. They're not like bad laws specifically. They're laws on why do we even need to have them being upheld? How often does this happen that we have to actually have a law stating, don't do that, you dumb... Okay. I'm starting to understand it. I'm starting to understand the idea. Because, yeah. What kind of idiot? Well, I do have an idea of what kind of idiots would do that. Similar idiots to the ones who drive drunk. Yay!
As it's unlikely to have happened too often, we're guessing that the law might have well been named after the person who inspired it. So when in Alabama, don't be a Dave. Keep your eyes on the road. Another area
Please.
where a lot of strange laws come into play, our furry friends. Maybe you have a grandma who loved to knit, and she would use anything she could get her hands on to create a sweater.
Huh? I don't like where this is going.
Well, if she lives in Delaware, there's one thing you don't have to worry about her using. It is illegal in the tiny northwestern state to sell dog or cat hair. A Class B misdemeanor to sell any part of a domestic dog or cat. This
Why? What would you want that for? Also, why is that even a problem? What were people doing with dog and cat hair? Why were people buying dog or cat hair? I have so many questions. Why was this law brought in? What? I'm confused. I'm confused. Wait, listen, SpongeBob. Oh, the blindfold try. Well, he shouldn't have.
This is no doubt a disappointment to the owner of Persian cats everywhere as they coat the house in a thin layer of hair.
Well, you can still get rid of it. You just don't sell it. Spells, I think. Spell components. Oh my god. But like, yeah, clean up your cat hair. You don't have to make a business out of it because it's not something you make business out of. You just get rid of the shit.
Every shedding season. But there's nothing stopping her from knitting her own pet sheddings. But this next one might be...
Wait, were people actually like making clothes out of cat hair and dog hair and then selling said clothes? Because if that's the case, that's probably not right. That's probably not. I mean, it's not like it's bad or anything. It's just why? Why? And also, like, if people are stupid enough to buy it, what's the problem?
a little harder to enforce. In the old days in Indiana, it was apparently pretty popular to have high-intensity horse races. These would often take place in public streets, which could be a danger to pedestrians. So the state passed a common-sense law, banning people from riding horses above 10 miles an hour anywhere in the state. There's just one problem. Did anyone tell the horses? They probably don't know how to read speed limits, and an out-of-control horse could mean a ticket. But with the arrival of cars, that's probably less of a worry. How fast do they go again?
Well, once again, I think that falls into a situation of, like, a common sense area. Like, if a horse decides to just fuck off, it's a wild animal. I'm sorry to say, but it's a wild animal all the same, even if it's, you know, domesticated. If it fucks off, that's similar to, you know, a car's brakes not functioning anymore. And it's got, like, some sort of a problem with it that's making it go super fast. So you're not going to get a speeding ticket in those situations, but you are going to be fined for your horse, you know, causing a public disturbance.
But at least this law protects one animal, maybe. Bigfoot, the mysterious North American megafauna. Or maybe just a guy named Bob in a gorilla suit. Many people believe the missing link exists, and they go into the woods regularly searching for it. But if you're Bigfoot hunting in Washington state, better make sure that you're only armed with a camera. Since 1969, the famous cryptid has been legally protected, with shooting a Bigfoot being a felony punishable by 5 years in prison.
How many people have shot a Bigfoot? Oh my god, people have shot actual people. Oh no. People have shot actual people in Bigfoot costumes, and oh no. That's a problem.
And he's now legally classified as an endangered species. If you see him, let him know. It's not the
Wait, what? Well, this is Wyoming.
only state with some strange hunting regulations. In Virginia, there's a rich hunting tradition. Sportsmen and those looking to put some game on the menu do go out daily and shoot birds and mammals in the woods.
Understandable.
Except on Sunday. This isn't uncommon, as many states have regulations preserving Sunday as a day of rest for religious reasons, but there's one exception to this no-hunting bill in Virginia. The law bans the shooting of any wild bird or wild animal, including nuisance species, on Sundays, with the exception of raccoons. Virginia really went, we hate this one species particularly.
You see these little guys? You see these little trash pandas? Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys in particular. They're assholes. They're causing a bunch of problems. They're getting into our trash cans. They're destroying our properties. They're destroying our fences. They're just making absolute messes. It's Sunday. Fuck them up. Duck hunt duck. For all those misses.
Poor trash pandas. We bet this next law
I like raccoons. They're very cute. However, they are a nuisance.
never even crossed your mind. There's nothing like a frog jumping competition, right? Okay, not many people know about this sport, which involves seeing how far a frog can jump after startling it. But this can be occasionally dangerous for the frog, and California wants to make sure.
Well, yeah, any animal, like, most animals have a prey instinct. Even if they're a predator type animal, they have a prey instinct. When that goes off, it's like when you get startled very suddenly. Does it feel good? No, but guess what? We are not prey animals anymore. We don't have that fight or flight response in the same way that these guys do. When a frog, a chicken, a deer, or anything like that goes into a flight response, they yeet themselves without any care of what's in front of them, because it's either they die where they stand or they die up ahead, and at least they have a fighting chance. So they're going to fly. They're not going to look before they leap.
Those heroic athletes get treated well. If a frog is killed or otherwise dies in competition, it is forbidden to eat it or use the body for any other purpose.
What? So it dies in vain? That's stupid. I'm sorry, but like that almost sounds heartless to say, but like at least if it dies in the process, you should at least make sure it didn't die in vain. What the hell is this? Poor thing. You scare it literally out of its skin, and then you're like, oh, I guess it has to rot now. Like, what?
Alas, no drowning the sorrows of losing a prize-jumping frog with an appetizer of frog legs. Few
Still
areas
weird.
have more strange laws.
Still weird, and also, how does that law even happen? That's the question.
Than food. In Connecticut, they take pickles seriously. When legislators were discussing how to check for good quality pickles, because really biting into a mushy pickle is pretty disgusting, they passed a law stating that any
and also, bad food's bad food.
Pickle sold in the state must be able to bounce when dropped on the floor. This was actually tested in 1948 when 2 pickle vendors were reported for selling pickles that were unfit for human consumption. Sure enough,
selling stale pickles is a criminal offense.
Their wares didn't bounce and they were arrested. But that raises the question of how safe it is to drop pickles on the floor.
It's not. Considering pickles also sit in brine all the time. Really? Pickles bouncing? Yeah, I guess it's kind of like when you're doing those egg races, the ones where you put the egg in the spoon and you're doing the race. Some people will actually like switch out their egg, a raw egg, because the idea is if it falls out of the spoon and hits the ground, it'll crack and break, right? And then you're out of the competition. Some people will actually swap their egg out for a hard-boiled egg, right? So that if it hits the ground, it's not going to break. It's hard-boiled. It can't break. I mean, the shell can crack, but as long as nothing spills out, you're golden. But the thing I was talking about, or a fake, that's the other thing. But the thing I was talking about is like, if a pickle hits the ground, congratulations. Even if it was a dry pickle, which at that point I'm pretty sure would be considered a cucumber again. If it was a dry pickle, it's still going to pick up dirt. It's still going to pick up any of the stuff that's on the ground. You have no idea what animal was walking around that area. You have no idea what who was walking around in that area. For all you know, Farmer Joe could have just come off of the field with a whole bunch of manure on his boots, got himself a nice pickle from that cart, and then walked away. And then your pickle hit the ground in his boot print. Enjoy your cow pie pickle. But also, not only that, pickles, once again, are wet. And when they're wet, yet it sticks to dirt a lot better. Like a lot better. So, yeah. 5-second rule doesn't actually exist. We say it just because who fucking cares sometimes. But it doesn't exist. That being said, I have been known to say 5-second rule.
Did you know you could get arrested over pizza? We've probably all had it happen to us. We hear.
Okay, what? Well, Okay, what?
Or knock at the door and there's a pizza delivery man holding a piping hot pie. But you didn't order a pizza. Maybe it was a prank, maybe it was a misprint, but now you're having an awkward argument and you probably want pizza. Well, in Louisiana, sending someone a pizza they didn't order is actually considered harassment.
Good. Good. You're wasting somebody else's time. You're wasting that person's time. You're wasting the company's time. You're wasting company resources. And what happens if that person doesn't buy the pizza? They're like, sorry, I didn't order a pizza. I don't want a pizza. Goodbye. And they close the door on them. That restaurant is now out of pizza. What are they going to fucking do?
This applies to intentionally trying to stick someone with a pie, but an accidental address mishap could potentially result in a $500 fine as well. It's not.
Okay, well, that one could definitely be a problem. I used to live in an area where where in the special directions, I had to put the actual address for my house because when it would go into the pizza parlor's place, system, it would send them to the opposite end of town every single time. And we would have to and there were a few times where they would call us and be like, hey, we can't find your house anywhere. And I'm like, well, where are you? We're at such and such location. I'd be like, oh shit, no, we're over in this location. We don't know why it's sending you there. So whenever Star and I ordered pizza, we would put into the special instructions, we are in this location, not this location.
Often that a state banning something.
Yeah.
In 2013, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg was well known for his health regulations. He banned giant-sized sodas and required restaurants to post their calorie counts. Well, in Mississippi, they didn't
Honestly, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
like that. So soon afterward, they passed a law nicknamed the Anti-Bloomberg Bill that explicitly banned towns in the state from requiring nutritional information on menus. The law is still in effect 8 years later, and Mississippi takes a stand to prevent diners from knowing too much about what goes into a giant plate of barbecue.
Why? That's just kicking your feet against, bucking against the weirdest of things. What? We don't want you to know what's in your food. You don't have to do that. It's like, why? Why not? Hold on. I'm looking this one up. I've been unsure. I've been okay, yeah, I can believe that is being allowed. This one does Mississippi not have to show nutritional information. There it is. Mississippi does not does not have unique statewide exemption allowing food producers to hide nutritional food information. Food labeling is heavily governed by the federal FDA. However, there are a few special circumstances where you or certain businesses do not have to show nutrition information. Small businesses and cottage food laws. If you make cottage food, low-risk home-baked goods, and sell directly to consumers, you are exempt from putting nutritional facts labels on your items in Mississippi. Honestly, that's not a bad thing. You only need to include this information if you make specific nutritional claims on your package. Example, low-calorie or sugar-free. Honestly, that's not a bad point. Federal FDA rules also provide general small business exemption for small-scale manufacturers provided no nutrition or health claims are made. Okay. Restaurant and menu labeling. Okay. In 2013, Mississippi passed a state law, Mississippi Code 7529901, that forbids its local cities and countries from creating their own unique mandates requiring restaurants to post nutritional information on menus. However, chain restaurants with 20 or more locations are still bound by federal FDA requirements to post calorie counts on the menu boards. Honestly, that's not a bad point. That's actually that makes fair sense. Because usually if you have the chains, you have that information already. Like, McDonald's will already know how many calories goes into an average thing of fries, right? They know that. So why not put it up? You should just put it up anyway. It's going to be up in all the other ones. You might as well keep going. But if it's just like a mom and pop shop or a small startup business, they're not going to make you be like, okay, now put all your information to every single one and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I can kind of understand that. It just feels weird that they have a specific law that goes against the remainder of the country. But then again, this is the States, so I guess that also makes sense. Those actually sound logical. Actually, good job, law. Yeah, no, those make sense. Those make sense. That's also why you should never like just get randomly upset at something without doing a little bit of extra research into things. Okay, do a little extra research. Do a little extra digging. Maybe it's not as bad as you think it is.
You wouldn't think a law would be needed to keep this game from getting rowdy. Bingo. A nice, relaxing game of chance. Okay. A nice, relaxing game of chance. Bullshit. Have you ever been to a legitimate bingo hall? Those things are violent sometimes. Those are rowdy. Those can get rowdy. Granted, it is still a bunch of older people, but it is the Karen national sport. Bingo is the Karen national sport for a reason, okay? That's where the elderly come to win prizes and feel the thrill of victory. It's all fun and games, at least until Myrtle and Ethel call bingo a half second apart and the canes go flying. That's why in North Carolina, it's illegal to sell or consume any alcoholic beverage in a place where bingo is being played. And it doesn't fall under a...
Okay, that's kind of funny. That's funny. No drunk bingo. That makes more sense as a weird, insane law than no drunk skiing.
General rule banning alcohol around games of chance either. They passed a law specifically about bingo. What?
Oh wait, no, it's only bingo, but not like casinos? That's kind of wild.
What did Myrtle do? But they're not as strict as their
Myrtle done a murder.
neighbor to the south. South Carolina has a pretty involved juvenile justice code. Don't want those kids to get out of control after all.
This child broke the law. Time to throw the book at her.
These laws usually don't carry hefty criminal charges, instead charging kids with status offenses, where they usually get released home to their parents and have to face a judge. Most are common sense, covering things like truancy and curfews, but the law goes out of its way to ban one popular activity, playing pinball.
Huh? Myrtle made a beach, oh no.
Maybe it was
pinball?
too close to gambling for their tastes, or maybe they just really don't like the song Pinball Wizard. But if you're a kid in South Carolina, stay away from those flippers. But it's not the most unusual.
That's interesting. I kind of wish that he went into a little bit more detail about these laws, but still funny. I mean, that's also up for the person watching to look into the law a little bit further. I'm not as up in arms about this one as I was with the what's it called? The nutrition thing, but still weird.
A bit of recreation banned in a U.S. state. In the great state of Louisiana, there are some tough and hardy men. So tough, in fact, that they feel like testing themselves in the sport of bear wrestling.
I have a friend that says that when he gets to a certain point in life, he wants to go out into the woods and when he's like ready to go or ready to just see how good he is, he wants to go out into the woods and fight a bear. And then and whether he comes back or not is all up to chance after that point. Stryker might need to know about the bingo law. But like, don't fight bears. Don't fight bears. Even if you're Russian, don't do it. It's not going to go well. You're not going to win. I mean, you can scare off a bear pretty friggin' easy. However, that's not what they're looking at. They are wanting to go toe-to-toe with like a grizzly or a growler or polar. Don't do that. You won't even last a minute.
This is exactly what it sounds like. One or more people fighting a bear in a wrestling match. Now, we're willing to bet that not too many people do this activity twice, but enough people try to take...
I'll make a killing machine out of you. And yes, they won't... People will take their lives in their hands at this... People tried to take their lives in their hands that the state had to make it a crime to participate. Wait, has he actually been... Okay, he hasn't. I thought that he was actually, like, explaining the law a little bit more in the subtitles there. I was like, wait, am I missing something? But no. But yeah, obviously, if they go into a fight against a bear, they're probably not going to be doing it a second time. You don't get a second chance on this one.
Take their lives in their hands that state had to make a crime to participate in or train a bear for a wrestling match. It carries a penalty of a fine of $500 and prison time of up to 6 months, and we're betting a strange look from the judge.
That's it? That's it? You were trying to train a wild animal to be a fighter and be, you know, violent, and you only get what was the fine size? $500 and prison time of half a year. So you pay rent, you pay like a third of rent, and then you get put up in prison for 6 months for training a bear how to fight. That's if you live. That's true. It's if you live. But this is also just teaching the bear, like training the bear. Bear battles. That's honestly more. Make the fine bigger, because that's not exactly a very hefty fine, considering people would probably pay way more just to do that.
$100 and prison time of up to 6 months, and we're betting a strange look from the judge at sentencing. These are the oddest state laws, but the federal government gets in on the action too. Are you someone who likes to live on the edge? If you're
No, I'm not.
planning on skydiving anytime soon, you should be able to do it legally. Just don't drink too much before you do it. Sure, it might be tempting to have a few and take the edge off of those nerves, but it's considered a federal crime. Who knows why?
Because you're putting your life on the line doing skydiving. If you fuck up, you're a pancake. You are a red stain on the earth. And guess what alcohol tends to do to you? Make you fuck up a lot. I'm sorry, but like, drunk laws need to be more strict. I'll be perfectly honest.
After all, what's the worst that could happen when a drunk person falls from an extreme height and has to remember to pull a parachute in time? I wonder. Just hate to think about why this law was passed. If you're a food lover, you might be surprised by just how involved the feds are in your dinner plate. You bite into an onion ring, and somehow this just doesn't taste right. Looking at it closely, it seems to be missing the ring part. The breaded circle is actually filled with diced onions.
That sounds like way more work than it'd be worth. What?
The restaurant didn't just commit a culinary faux pas. They might have committed a federal crime, violating a statute that regulates the content of onion rings and requires restaurants to
Who's making the onion rings here?
disclose if they're using dried or diced onions. We don't know why the federal government got involved here, but maybe one congressman had some really bad onion rings.
That one's wild. That one's wild. First of all, why would you want to make an onion ring out of diced onions? That just sounds like way more work than it's worth. At all.
Government takes food seriously, including lunch meat. Have you ever eaten turkey ham? Wait, how can something be both a turkey and a ham? This popular cold cut is usually a formed cured loaf of dark meat turkey that looks a little like ham, and the government wants to make sure no one gets confused. That's why the labeling of this lunch meat is strictly regulated. The words turkey and ham can't be in different orders or fonts, so that no one will think they're actually advertising pork or regular turkey. That's a lot of restrictions for meat most commonly seen as the second in 4 of a turkey variety pack.
That's a wild one. I don't think government should be getting involved in these sorts of things. This should be like an FDA thing, not a government thing. Though, is FDA government? Wait, is the FDA government? Is the FDA a government agency? Yes, it is a government agency. Okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. If the FDA is the one that's getting involved in this thing, but like, yeah, FDA is government. My bad. I'm dumb. Look at me. Do I look like I have brain cells? Okay, maybe I have them sometimes. I have a thought, but like, certain things I don't.
But there's one condiment that the government takes even more seriously. Nothing can ruin a sandwich or a pile of fries more than opening a bottle of ketchup and it's runny.
And it's runny? Put it in the fridge. You don't want your ketchup runny, put it in the damn fridge. What? Warm ketchup's fine, cold ketchup's fine. Like, what?
The government
Why are we getting the government involved in this one?
agrees, so they regulate how fast the ketchup will flow out of the bottle before it can be sold. Using an instrument named a Bostwick consistometer, regulators make sure that it can't travel more than 14 centimeters in 30 seconds. If it
Ladies and gentlemen, our tax dollars at work. Or sorry, your tax dollars at work. I'm Canadian. Although, it's probably affects me up here too. Oh my god. They had to build a special device to measure how fast ketchup moves. I hate it. That is just purely... That is just stupid. Why? Tax dollars well spent, apparently. Like, I like ketchup, okay? I put ketchup on steak. I've put ketchup on almost everything. I don't use ketchup as often nowadays, but, like, I still will use it. I do like it. But, no. My ketchup's runny, I throw it in the fridge. That's it. Or I just suck it up. Because guess what? It's fine. It's just a little watery. Who cares?
exceeds that, it gets labeled substandard. They also regulate the name of the condiment, and any form of ketchup, catsup, or ketchup are
Or cabbage. That's what I used to call it when I was a baby.
acceptable. Who calls ketchup ketchup? This next law might
I don't know, but they might want to get kicked in the shin. They legitimately call it that. No, I'm kidding. Who cares? As someone who doesn't choose ketchup, can I get an additional tax return for not using it? Honestly, that would be kind of a nice idea.
disappoint would-be supervillains everywhere. It's illegal to influence the weather,
That being said, your tax return is you don't have to spend money on ketchup.
but it's also impossible to do that, right? Well, besides singing a song when it rains, the odds are no private citizen can. But during the Vietnam War, the government was studying how to create weather events over enemy lines to disrupt their troops.
Is that a thing? Is that actually something that we can do? Like, actually, we can influence and change the weather?
This was seen by the government as very dangerous, and they did not want the information to come out. So they passed a law making it illegal to modify the weather without notifying the Secretary of Commerce, to the tune of a fine of $10,000. So now sci-fi weather machines are only the purview of the government. Yay? You probably
Yeah, that's usually how that goes. That's usually how that works. Oh, this could be a weapon. Let's not let anybody else have that. No. Hi, Star. Star's going to get a nap, I think. Oh, okay. No, never mind.
never thought about breaking this next law. We hope. If a horse passes you by on the street and splashes you with mud, you might get a little angry. You might even be tempted to make an angry gesture. But if you do it in the wrong place, that
I see a criminal.
might be a federal crime. It's illegal to make an unreasonable gesture to a passing horse on federal land, which means you can flip that horse the bird all you want on the streets of New York. But what is an unreasonable...
So, wait. It's illegal to flip the bird at a horse? If it splashes you with mud? That's just... Huh. How did that become a law? Did some, like, hoity-toity Karen get yelled at because she splashed mud on some dude, on the wrong dude, get all grumpy at them, and then the dude was like, or the other way around, somebody was driving their horse, splashed a little bit of mud on somebody, they get a little pissy and then say they want to sue and then cause a huge problem, and now they're just like, we don't want to deal with that anymore, so we're just going to make it so you can't do that.
Gesture is up to interpretation, which is why the federal government eventually amended the law to make it not much less vague. Just don't do anything that isn't prudent when that horse passes. The federal government is very involved with animals, but maybe no
Probably for good reason, because humans can't be trusted around animals. I'll be perfectly honest.
more than this next case. Falcons. Why is the federal government so interested in falcons? These smart birds can be trained by talented falconers for hunting, and the government strictly regulates how many falcons a person can own and how they must be treated. But
I mean, they also get involved with how many, like, animals you're able to have just in general. So, I mean, it makes sense to want to actually, you know, it's a specialized pet. You should have regulations on specialty pets like that.
oddly, there's also a regulation on how falconry can be portrayed in the media. Trained birds of prey cannot appear in movies unless it concerns the hobby or relevant issues involving birds of prey, and the handlers cannot be paid for the bird's role in the film. This has led filmmakers who want to use falcons in their movies to go for a simpler solution: computer-generated birds.
Yeah, why? What do you mean you're not allowed to be paid if your bird is being used in a movie? What? That's fucking stupid.
More on weird laws, check out crazy laws that still exist around the world, or watch this video instead.
Well, that's wild. That's wild. But yeah, crazy laws around that still exist in the US, everybody. That was... Go check it out. Go check out the... And once again, if a law doesn't make sense to you, look it up. Just a quick Google search. I know a lot of things are being, you know, governed by, like, weird AI sometimes, but you might as well do a little bit of research and try and, you know, have a little bit of faith in things and, you know, just be instantly annoyed and pissed off right out the gate. What? Hey, did you enjoy that? Was it funny? Well, come and check it out live over on twitch.tv/freeform_art. Make sure you put the _art. We have lots of fun there. We enjoy ourselves, and we want to see you over there. So come on and hang out. See you in a bit.